everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So today's video is one that you guys, we haven't done this. We've only done this one time, but it's things that you guys tend to like. So this one is Banned, Forbidden, and Taboo Romances.
Yes.
This is the good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get moving. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for being here. We are doing our coveted cover giveaway when we get to 3K. So you definitely want to hang out and be around for that.
Yes. Okay.
Not to mention the good book recs.
That's really important.
Yes.
Yep. All right, well, let's get started. So I think my books lean a little more onto the taboo than banned, because you did read some banned ones, but I would let you have some banned
books. I have some taboo.
Yep. Okay.
I have some forbidden. I have it. I'm here with it.
Okay. All right. Well, this one is categorized as taboo. So, which I do think this author does have quite a few taboo-ish subjects in some of her books. But this is Raleigh 2 by Daisy Jane. So this one it's taboo because they're identical twin brothers, but there's some other things that make it taboo as well. But this is about Ember and Riker. So they meet at a bank one day when Riker is trying to get money to give to his son who has a drug addiction. Him and his twin brother are trying to keep the son in town so they know where he's at, because this guy he's spiraling. And when he's at the bank gets held up, and that is where he meets Ember. She is either behind him or in front of. They're in line together, and they really cling to each other for those minutes that they're in the bank. And she talks about, wanting to live her life and wanting to explore. And she's younger, obviously, and so he's like, go to New York, go do these things. And so when the police come in and take care of the situation, he loses track of her. And then we see the book fast forward a few years later, and she is in New York and she is married, and her relationship is falling apart, and something happens to her husband, and she has to go home and tell his father what happened to him. And when she rings the doorbell, Riker's twin brother answers the door, and she's like, wait a minute, I know this guy. So there's a lot that's happening because they look alike, but then he comes to the door. So this is not only age gap, but it's taboo and forbidden because of the dynamics in the relationship and what happens. So,
Okay,
what do you got?
Okay, well, my first one is the one that you cannot get on the Zon. You have to go to Eden Books or the author's personal website, and that's Silks by Kate Rivenhall.
Okay.
So this is about Ophelia. Ophelia is from an extremely wealthy family, and they are very involved in the Kentucky Derby, and they do horse racing and all of that stuff. And she decided when she graduated from high school that she did not really want to be a part of her family's stuff. So she left on her own to go to college, and she gets arrested protesting. And while she's in the slammer, she's told that they will let her go if she will go back home, and she hasn't been home for a few years, but if she'll go back home and spy on them, because they know that this family is like rigging the racing somehow, and they can't quite figure out what is happening with it or what is happening with my hair. And so they tell her they'll let her out, but she has to go spy on them. So she agrees because she doesn't like her family. So she heads back, and she doesn't like what they're doing with the racing. So she heads back and it happens to be Kentucky Derby time, and she's determined to figure out what's going on. Well, Teddy, who is her twin brother, is very happy that she is home. So we do have a very naughty situation. I don't know what words we can use on YouTube. But he wants her, and he is going to have her. Now you know why you have to go to Eden Books.
Yeah, I mean, Kate in general, any Kate Rivenhall book, you're getting that incestuous
brother-sister. Yes. I didn't know if you could say that word on.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. First channel's suddenly gone. Everyone will know.
It's because I said the I word. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the next book I have is, it's not banned, but I am really surprised that it's not. And I honestly, with the second book in the series that just came out, I would be surprised if it doesn't get banned because of the things that happen in these books, because it's just crazy dark. So this is Deviant by Ellie Sanders. You guys have heard me talk about depravity recently, but we're going to go back to the beginning and talk about this. I honestly, when I got this and I saw what was in it, I downloaded both and made sure I had purchased both, because I wouldn't be surprised if they do get banned because of the things that are in them. So this is about Liliana and Magnus. So Magnus is a part of the Brethren, which is this secret society that runs basically all of London, runs the world as far as what we're being told in the books. These guys are pulling the strings behind the scenes. And Liliana is a reporter, and she hears about the Brethren, and she wants more information. She wants to write an article on the Brethren, and she gets somebody who's inside to be her informant. And when this book opens up, we see a horrific scene. We kind of go from present and then to past and then to present, where the person who helped her has been mutilated beyond recognition, and because they found out that he had helped her. And Magnus goes on the run. Because Liliana goes on the run, Magnus goes chasing after her, and when he captures her, the Brethren was going to kill her, but he said, you know what, let me play with her for a little while. The things he does to her are horrible. This is extremely dark, but I did really enjoy the book, and the consecutive one after that. But like I'm saying, I would be surprised if they don't get banned, because there's ones that are not this bad that are banned for being so dark that they're crazy. So just putting that out there. Okay.
Okay, my next one is not banned, but it is very taboo and forbidden.
Okay.
And that is Put Me in Coach by K.L. Mann. So this is stepdad, stepson. So you can see where we're going with this. So Liam is in college. He is a college baseball star, and his coach is also his stepdad. His actual dad left them several years ago, and so his stepdad has been raising him the last few years of like his high school career, and he's now in college, like I said. And Liam has decided that he really wants his stepdad, and he is going to make it impossible for Jonathan to say no. So this is a novella. It's a pretty fast, fun read in the taboo department.
Okay. All right. My next one is taboo as well. So this is a BJ Alpha book. This is Stone by BJ Alpha. Oh, I got to do this first because I can't hold the book open and hold the book up at the same time and talk about it. Okay, so this is Stone by BJ Alpha. This one is taboo because our hero and heroine are half siblings. So this is about Sienna and then Stone. So Sienna, so this is a spinoff of her Secrets and Lies series. This is the first book in her Carrera family saga. And so Stone has amnesia, but he is living with who he believes is his father. According to the book, at the beginning of the book, this guy, he's the head of the Italian mafia and the dad, and he has several bastard children out there. But Stone is the only one that he has ever recognized, but because he is a stand-up guy like that. But he really abuses Stone. Like there's a scene at the very beginning where he's eating soup and he can't quite tell if it's tomato or if it's something else because he's been so beaten and so abused and his tongue has been cut so many times that he doesn't have taste anymore. The only person who can soothe him and comfort him is his half sister, who is Sienna. And so they find themselves in bed together, just cuddling apparently, more often than not. And what happens when Sienna's dad actually forces her into an arranged marriage situation that's not very good, and when secrets come to light. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's just loved this book so much. Every time Becky comes out with a new book, I'm like, it's my favorite. And then today she was asking me, because her husband is read because we get the ARC to read tomorrow. Her husband's reading them today. And she was telling me that he was reading it, and she asked him who his favorite character was out of all the Stone guys. Like, who's your favorite? And he told her Owen, and she was so mad because that's the book before. And she's like, fine, be that way. And I was like, doesn't he know that a rule of thumb is it's the book that you're reading that's supposed to be your favorite character until like the next book comes out, then that's your favorite character. He said, unless Finn is in the book, because if he has a camo, that's my favorite. So, but apparently nobody informed BJ Alpha that her husband informed her husband that that's how it's supposed to go.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're reading your wife's new book, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Helpful information.
Yes. Thought you might like that.
All right. Well, we can really see who is the problem now because I have another book that you can only get on Eden Books.
Okay.
Great. So this is called Bad Sign. So this is about Marie. Marie is engaged to an abusive prick. That is a mild way of putting how he is. And they are driving one day and they see a hitchhiker. So they pull over to pick up the hitchhiker. And somehow she ends up, while her husband is driving, doing things with the hitchhiker. And you don't know who the hitchhiker is until you get to the end of the book, so I don't want to give away any spoilers, but you can think about the theme of my books and perhaps figure out why this would be on Eden Books. Because you cannot get it on the Zon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I have to say about that book.
Okay, we'll let you just...
I'm really concerned about myself, though.
Sometimes I'm concerned too.
I like to point out I'm an only child. I do not have siblings.
Even when we do have siblings and we read these books, you don't think about your siblings. There's this disassociation, okay? No. 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 Okay. My next book is Teacher Student. Let's talk about it. So this one is actually paranormal as well. But this is My Werewolf Professor by Amelia Rose. So this one is about Brianna and Callum. So Callum is not only the alpha to the pack in the area, but he is also a professor at the college. And Brianna is his new student at the college. And he meets her on the first day of school and he realizes that she is his fated mate. She sees him and thinks he's hot. But she is human, so she doesn't understand the whole fated mates thing. Plus, also, it is her professor at the college. And then other things happen, but he wants her, and knowing that she's his, he's not going to let the whole me being professor, you being a student thing come in the way. So because it is college, she is of age. So I'll give you that much. Or at least she's 18 at this point. So.
All right. So my next one is my my Taboo Forbidden Love without any excess stuff going on. It is just, I'm supposed to be holding up the book. A Place Without You by Julie Ann. This book is just phenomenal. It's going to be on my top 5 reads. I called it back when I read it that it'll be my number 1 read of the year, and it probably will be. I love it so much. So this is just good old fashioned forbidden love. So Henna and Bodhi meet each other at Coachella, and Henna is going into her senior year of high school. Although she is old enough to have already graduated, you do find out later what the story is, but that I will not be talking about that right now. So she is at Coachella. She meets Bodhi. They really hit it off, and they're Henna and Bodhi, or Bodhi and Henna. And if you read it, you'll understand that. It is just so good. Like, they spend a weekend together and you're like, oh, that's insta love, but it did not feel like that at all. It felt so real and genuine. It was so good. And Henna ends up going back home, and she starts her senior year only to find out that the new guidance counselor is Bodhi. So we have this horrible, horrible issue with this being extremely forbidden and taboo because he's now the guidance counselor at her high school. She is of age, obviously, but that's not going to fly here. And Bodhi is freaked out by the whole situation, but he also feels this deep, deep connection with Henna. He's also dealing with a lot of guilt because his father is dying of cancer, and so he's got a lot on his plate. I just loved this book so incredibly much. But I love a good forbidden taboo story. I have to feel the forbiddenness of it. Like, just, oh, we work in the same workplace and there's a rule saying we can't date. That doesn't feel forbidden. You have to really make it feel forbidden. And this one brings all of that, and it brings that angst that I love with that forbiddenness. And so, oh, so incredible.
Okay.
So
Well,
incredible. Now
for
the
my
main thing.
last book, this one is definitely Taboo. This is, and this is an author that I think is very underhyped, like extremely underhyped. It's a New Zealand author, and I think that her books, the what I've read of hers, have been amazing. So this is Hired Help by Layla Simon. This is about our heroine, who is Brooke. She is dating Harrison, and he breaks up with her before prom. She is 18 at this point, but he breaks up with her before prom, and she is very upset about that. She gets her heart broken. And so she decides to hire a male escort to be her prom date, but not only to be her prom date, but to teach her about sex, because she's never had an orgasm with Harrison and she thinks that there's something wrong with her. He made her feel that way. Well, the escort that she hires is Harrison's father, and that's Deegan. And there may become maybe there's a relationship that comes out of that. There also might be a father son with her in the middle sandwich that happens too. Just putting that out there. What's your last one?
Well, my last one takes me back to my theme.
Eating books.
Yeah, this is, you have to get it directly from the author.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think you need to go to the author's website for this one.
Okay.
And could you have a forbidden taboo banned video without
Kay Webster?
Kay Webster? Can
No,
you?
you can't.
No.
No.
So here we have it, Untamed and Unruly. So this is about the kids. So this is second generation, and there's a lot of kids that our couple from the wild have. And I won't give any spoilers for that one. If you haven't read that book, definitely check that out. You can read this without reading that one, but it'll make a lot more sense if you've read the wild. So that being said, some of us are now into our very early 20s and teen years, but that couple like has a lot of kids. So this takes place in the Alaska wilderness, and by Alaska wilderness, I mean there is no society within anywhere. They're living alone out there, and the kids don't want to really be a part of society. Their older brother went and tried it out, and he came back really messed up from it. So this is their, like, the older kids' stories. We have Regan, Ryder, and Ronan are who the story really focuses on. And there is another family that comes in and gets kind of involved in some things, and things just take a wild, wild turn. So this has got like romantic suspense to it. There are some pretty horrific things that happen, so definitely check your triggers. And we do have some MMF going on in here. And again, you cannot buy this on the Zon, so I'll just let you kind of connect all those dots there for where this is going. But if you are looking for banned, taboo, forbidden, this is the book. Or start with the wild, but I'm pretty sure we included that in our first banned, taboo, and forbidden.
We
romance.
probably talked about it. I don't think it was one that we recommend, but I think we mentioned it.
So, Untamed and Unruly. Untamed does end on a cliffhanger, so you definitely want to be able to pick up Unruly right afterwards.
Yep. Whew. All right, goes.
There we have it.
Goes. Yeah, guys, that's the naughty ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us some other banned, taboo, forbidden books that you really enjoy reading. Put those in the comments below. And make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.